Welcome to the Rivalry Bros podcast, where the Bulldogs and Rebels clash off the field, and two friends, Scott and John, turn their school pride into all-out sports banner. From football to baseball, hoops to headlines. If it's Mississippi State versus Ole Miss, we're talking about it. This episode is brought to you by our title sponsor, Southern Love Barbecue, where flavor comes first.
Welcome back to Rivalry Bros. John, how's it going?
Going good, Scott. How you been?
I've been making it, man. Watched a good Saturday slate of football. I know that. A lot of big-time games on a weekend that we didn't think there would be very many big games, but some turned out to be pretty good. I know.
A lot better weekend than I expected.
Absolutely. I know for State, there was some ups and downs that we'll get into in a minute, but Ole Miss had Tulane. And remember last week we were talking about, we thought that would be a pretty tough game based on some past matchups with Tulane. How'd that one go for y'all?
It went a lot better than what I expected. A lot better. Our defense actually played like a top 10 defense that they are. Our offense played like a top 5 offense that they are. It really put our team together, and I'm really excited. Give you some stats from the game. Trinidad Chambliss went 17 for 27, 307 yards. That's an average of about 11 and a half yards per pass. 2 touchdowns, and still has not thrown a pick this year in his 2 starts. He's got just that one game. His QBR is a 90.1. But he also carried the ball for 14 times, 112 yards. I mean, so you know where he came from, a D2 school. He's used to winning national championships.
Right.
He won at least one his last year there, and he made a jump through the portal, got D1, and he's proven that he can carry a team. He's one hell of an athlete. We don't know who's starting yet. If you watch, do you watch the Pat McAfee show?
I catch clips every now and then, but I hadn't seen it this week.
Did you see? So somebody, I don't know who it was, made a post out there, and it went viral that Lane Kiffin had said that Chambliss was the starting quarterback. Austin Simmons was not healthy for this coming up weekend. Well, Lane Kiffin is on the Pat McAfee show. And when you know how Pat McAfee is, he don't hide away from nothing. He just said,
right.
So for the 3rd week in a row, Chambliss is your starting quarterback. Lane's went like, let me go. I gotta go. I guess I gotta go tell the staff that our starting quarterback has been named for us, because I have not said that. Just wanted to go ahead and get that out on the air real quick. That no, we don't know who's starting this weekend for LSU. But back to the Tulane. Keywan Lacey has had 18 carries, 68 yards, about 4 yards a carry. He was in the end zone twice. Man, that's one thing. If you remember last year, we talked about this a couple times, and we won't go off into it. Our running back room last year was not deep.
Right.
We didn't have we had injury bug, whatever. But this year, man, Kiffin just done some things that in that room that I didn't expect. Not a lot of people expected. That running back room has really carried our team for the most part.
Well, Lacey was your top player when we did our season preview. You expected them to jump out and have a good year.
Mizzou, thank you, Missouri Tigers. Thank you for letting him go.
At this point in the season, has he been as good as you thought he would be, or better, or not
he's
quite
better,
as good?
bro. He's better. He's fast. He's tough. He's not. I don't believe he's fumbled the ball yet. Like, he's just been an overall just a great asset, because we've had quarterback trouble. Not like, well, let's rephrase, not trouble, like injury. And that's why you bring in depth through the portal.
Yeah,
that's why our coach is the portal king. We bring in depth. Yeah, some of these players may not play, but that's why you build yourself that way. Like, and I mean, another room that's built is wide receivers. Deuce Alexander, starting wide receiver that was at Wake Forest last year. He had four receptions, 94 yards, 1 touchdown. This is one of my favorite players he played last year with Dequan Wright, that number 8, the big old tight end. You know who I'm talking about.
Oh yeah.
3 receptions, 71 yards, and he had a touchdown. Man, if you miss him running over the middle of the field, I'll give you a name. I just thought. Remember Evan Ingram?
Yeah. He was
Think
good.
of his athletic size with like Daquan Johnson from the Saints. Just a big bodied tight end with athleticism that could just go up and just snag the ball in the middle of the air. But and then you had Stripling, that another Porter guy that came in. He's kind of taken in a good role on that offense. He had 62 yards, 3 receptions. So it's showing that our quarterback, no matter who's back there, whoever's throwing it, they spreading the ball around. We've got weapons on the outside behind him. Offensive line has gotten better every week. But that wasn't the best thing about the game. It was our defense.
I was going to ask about the defense because the score was a lot worse than what I expected. I
We only
didn't
allowed
think you
10
guys would
points.
blow them out.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't expect that really either. Because,
Right.
do you remember who Jake Retzlaff is?
The name sounds familiar.
He transferred from BYU. He had some type of scandal at the end of the year. The
Oh
Mormons
yeah,
didn't believe
that's
in you.
right.
Mm-hmm.
He ended up at Tulane.
He had Tulane.
I did
That
not
was
know
that
that.
was that was Tulane's. And the first 3 games of the year against Northwestern, Duke, and South Alabama, he was their leading passer, their leading rusher. He was their team. He literally against Duke, he had 4 rushing touchdowns.
Jeez.
All right, against us, and this is the whole game. He went 5 for 17 passing, 56 yards in the air,
Good Lord.
and he only had 8 carries for 51 yards. Like
So
we should,
he's a ground guy.
for the most part, yes, but he can sling the ball. Don't get
Yeah.
it twisted. He can sling it, but he relies on his legs for the
What'd
most
you
part.
say? 5? Did you say 5 for 20?
5 for 17.
Jesus, that's awful. That
And
is awful.
it was like he didn't complete a first pass till like second quarter. Maybe it was like in the second quarter, beginning of the third quarter. Our defense was on him. We didn't stop. We didn't let up. We had a really good day. I was impressed. That was probably the best we played all year. And Tulane is no joke. Tulane at one point was hitting the projections to be that non-power 4 team in the playoff, which
Right.
projections don't mean crap right now.
Well, their coach is a hot coach, and he's
He's
like
going
we
to
talked about
he'll be in the
Kiffin
SEC
saying,
soon.
well, now he's got Oklahoma State looking. That was a shocker this week. A shocker in terms of how long Gundy had been there, but I think everybody kind of saw that ending one way. I credit Oklahoma State for having the huevos to make the call and do what Florida should have done with Napier last year.
Yeah, I feel that.
Absolutely.
So
Oklahoma State's got too much tradition. When you've got Des Bryant saying it's embarrassing, it's pretty bad.
That's pretty bad. So what you saying, Mike Gundy to Arkansas?
I don't know. I don't think he's got the young mindset that he would need to compete in the SEC, especially in the NIL era. If he couldn't do it at Oklahoma State, he ain't gonna do it in the SEC. I don't care where he's at.
Well, we'll
What
get it.
what did y'all's final score end up being?
Man, it was. Hold on. I'll get it for you. I don't remember. I know we only allowed 10 points, but I'll get it right to you. And while I'm researching that, here, 45-10.
Okay. That's not bad.
No.
And again, well coached team, tough, competitive in Tulane. Um, Good game for y'all. I know, like you said, quarterback's been the talk of the town in Oxford, and certainly will be for this upcoming weekend. But we'll dive into that a little bit later in the show.
How did State do? I know y'all had a pretty easy week.
It was supposed to be.
Was it? No.
It was supposed to be. Remember when we recapped the Southern Miss game, first game of the season? I
Very
said
much so.
the first half of the Southern Miss game was kind of like, oh no, here we go again. We're not any better. Defense is still struggling, and we kept the whole defensive staff. Quarterback struggles. Offensive line is awful. This is going to be terrible again.
Yeah.
Season was already over. Well, credit Levy and the team. The same thing happened in this game. The first half, State was losing at one point, I think 10-3. And
Mm-hmm.
thank goodness they came out in the second half and Northern Illinois didn't score again after halftime. Um, you know, I don't know if there was any looking ahead with who we got coming up this week. I would hope so. But at the same time, just like we said last week, Northern Illinois is one of those pesky teams that if you're not 100% focused, that's how they go in and get these big upsets that they are known for the last several years for Power
Trap
Six
game.
games. Exactly. So we come off of a non-competitive game against Alcorn State, and we're thinking, okay, we're going to be 4-0 after Northern Illinois. This is great. That wasn't the
Yeah.
feeling at halftime. That was not the feeling. It was rough. Blake Shapen still taking too many sacks. He's got to learn to get rid of the football, or he's going to get killed in SEC play. We've got some offensive linemen out on the edge that have got to move their feet. There's times where we're just standing still and people are running right by us on the line. That can't
That's the way to
happen
go.
in SEC play. I want to see people moving bodies. I want to see people on skates on that line, opening up holes for the running backs and all. But ultimately, it sounds doom and gloom because the first half was, but second half, State came out and did what they were supposed to do right up and down the field. No problem at all. Defense getting 3-and-outs. Ended up winning 38-10. So similar to you guys. And it's a good thing when you can say, man, we didn't play good, but we won 38-10. If anybody only saw the score, they would think, oh, well, that's what was supposed to happen. But
That only happened one half.
it got sweaty. It got sweaty for a little while there. They're a very well coached team. Blake Shapen, 12 of 20 for 160 on the day, 2 touchdowns. One of those touchdowns was at the goal line. Listen to this stat line. Seydou Traore, big tight end that we have. He's kind of disappeared the last 2 weeks. He had some catches against Southern Miss, but he's been nowhere the last few weeks, surprisingly. He had 1 reception for 1 yard and 1 touchdown. Can't get any better than that, right?
1-1, baby. 1-1.
That's right. So that was one of the touchdowns. The longest pass Shapen had was 57 yards. Again, just a bomb to Jordan Mosley down the sideline. He had missed him earlier in the game, missed him a few times against Alcorn State, but he hit him in stride on this one. But Jordan peeled out right at the goal line. I think we ended up on like the 2 or 3 yard line, but it was a beautiful ball. Going back to last week, it just you keep wondering, is this our offense or are we hiding things for SEC play? Because Ole Miss has played what, two, 3 SEC games now?
I mean,
2?
you are talking about a team that is leading the SEC.
We have not played a single SEC game yet.
I know.
So what have we seen really what we're going to be? Now Arizona State, you wasn't holding nothing back against Arizona State. That wasn't happening. But for the most part, we liked what we saw. Against Alcorn and Northern Illinois, I feel like it was pretty vanilla for the most part on both sides of the ball. But, you mentioned running back earlier. And listen to these stats for State. I mentioned State having one of the best running back rooms in the country. Fluff Bothwell led the game with 17 carries, 101 yards, his fifth 100-yard career game. No touchdowns. Chapin ran the ball a lot more in this game than he has been. 11 carries for 65 yards, no touchdowns. Xavier Gayton, 4 carries, 45 yards, a touchdown. Kamario Taylor came in short yardage situation. He had some rushes. Anthony Evans on a jet sweep. Brendan Thompson on a jet sweep touchdown. I mean, State has 6, 7 guys that are legitimate runners that can compete in the SEC at running back. Fluff Bothwell is going to be the main guy. But here's the important part that jumped out at me. You've got a long of 22 from Bothwell, a long of 24 from Chapin, a long of 22 from Gayton, a long of 17 from Evans, and a long of 12 from Kamario Taylor. So not only are they getting carries, they're making them count. And, you know, the length of these rushes is something that we haven't seen in a while at State. Usually it's Anthony Dixon type running backs, Ladarius Perkins, grinders up the middle.
God, don't bring that name up.
I know you have nightmares about that, don't you?
Oh,
That's
Anthony
why I do.
Dixon, you look like a bowling ball, right? You look like the black version of the longest yard.
That's why I brought it up, because I knew it would trigger you. So, but ultimately, at the end of the day, State became 4-0, undefeated in non-conference play. It is our first 4-0 start since 2014, when Mississippi State went to number 1 and was the first number 1 ranked team in the college football playoff. And
it's the same year that we both were 4-0, and we were ranked number 3 or number 4.
Yeah, but it wasn't number 1.
It wasn't number 1, but
right after that. Okay, so not only is it the first 4-0 start since 14, it's also just the 8th 4-0 start in school history. That surprised me. We talked about that some last week. So State's met all their goals to this point. You know, one of my favorite podcasters mentions all the time, you can't be, they had 4 games, they're 4-0. You can't be better than that. So
for now,
it's gone as well as it could have. You already, before you get to SEC play, Jeff Levy's already doubled the win total from last season, which is just crazy to me. Now, could we lose every SEC game? We could. I don't think we're going to, though. I think we can find 2 wins and become bowl eligible. And for the number 2 toughest schedule in the country behind Florida, I think that a bowl game, heck, even 5-7, Levy should be in some Coach of the Year conversations, given what the turnaround has looked like, if we can keep it going.
So if he goes 6-6 or more, does he get an extension already? Do y'all actually spend the money on him?
I don't know. I'd be tempted. You go from 2-10, you bring in 60 new players through the portal, you flip the roster, you've got a great recruiting class coming up already that's going to be ranked, hopefully, and you double your win total, you go from 2-10 to a bowl game on the number 2 toughest schedule in the country. It'd be tempting. I would, you know, I don't know. I'd have to sleep on that one. I don't know how I'd feel. I can see him doing it. It wouldn't surprise me. I'll put it that way. It would not surprise me. No,
you weren't expecting that question.
No. Well, 2, remember my preseason prediction was 3-9. We already blew mine out of the water. So now, can we beat Missouri at Missouri? Can we beat Arkansas? Can we beat Ole Miss, who doesn't know who their quarterback is, has offensive line issues? It's in Starkville. Crazy things happen.
I mean, that's technically a home game from us.
But see, the difference is, from a State fan's perspective, from last year to this year, there's a chance. There's hope. Last year wasn't competitive. It wasn't competitive in any game. You know, so we didn't go into any game last year thinking, oh, we're going to win. And certainly not after Toledo. I mean, that that'll be my nightmare forever. But that's how our weekend went. 38-10 versus the NIU Huskies. I'll be curious to see how they do the rest of the season. I think they're a tough, scrappy team, but ultimately, State met all their goals. So, John, this upcoming weekend, start of SEC play for State versus Tennessee. Who is Ole Miss playing this weekend? I know you guys got a big one too.
Go to hell, LSU.
Oh, it's rivalry week for y'all. Your real rival, right?
Well, depending on what Ole Miss fan you ask, personally, when you two play, when LSU and State play, I root for LSU. You'll never have me root for something that goes grading in the field, has something to do with cowbells, wear gaudy maroon and white. I just can't do it. Not going to do it. But that's hearsay. That just who I believe in. I've been looking forward to this game. Since Lane Kiffin has got into Oxford, Brian Kelly has got into Baton Rouge, whoever is the home team has won this game. Well, really, not rephrase that. Here since Joe Burrow days, just Joe Burrow days.
So 19.
Yeah, 19. So from 20 to the past 5 years, who if you are the home team, you win the game. That's just how it's been. Well, we are the home team. And I'm going to tell LSU's defense looks really good, but their offense looks really bad. They have a top 10 defense, bottom 10 offense. Man, I mean, that's.
And wasn't Nussmeier getting Heisman talk before the season?
Man, that's why you can't listen to preseason crap.
Right.
I mean, look at the. I'm not getting into that. I mean, that's why you don't listen to AP rankings all till week 10.
Right.
It's dumb. It's absolute stupid. But so, like I said earlier, Lane Kiffin has not announced a quarterback. Now, I did listen to Locked On Ole Miss. I listened to that podcast a little bit. He is making a claim, and I agree with him. We believe Chambliss will start. Is that confirmed? Like I said, no. But he will start this week because Austin Simmons does not need to play until he's 100%. Not 85, not 90, nothing. I'm talking about 100%. And now he's still going to dress out. He's going to be on the sidelines. He's not going to be in street clothes, not in a boot. He's going to have shoulder pads on, helmet on his side, ready to go, just in case his number gets called. But I firmly believe Chambliss will start, and he gives us a really good edge. But LSU has to prep for both of them. Because you know how you've watched enough interviews of Lane Kiffin. He's not going to just hand you something.
Right.
He's going to make you wait for it. He's going to word things through those questions and give answers that you're like, okay, man, just tell us. You live in a song. He leaves you on a cliffhanger after every interview.
He loves
Right?
some coach feet.
Oh yeah, he wants Brian Kelly or whoever the opponent is. You're going to work for this. You're going to have a game. Your defense is going to have a game plan for 2 quarterbacks. That's what he wants. And
Right.
I don't blame him. That is smart. But even though their offense is bottom, it's because of their offensive line, like LSU's offense. Like, because Garrett Nussmeier, regardless of the Heisman talk or what has dropped, he's still an elite quarterback.
Right.
He's done things in this day of age that not many players will do. He stayed. Dude,
Right.
he's been at LSU for
He's been there a minute.
at least 4 years. At least. He sat with Jaden Daniels, Joe Burrow. So he's been there. This must be his 6th year. Gotta be.
Yeah.
And he actually waited his time. He put the work in, and I firmly believe he will be a high draft pick. Not saying I'm rooting for him, but I think as an athlete he will do that. But
Right.
I think that this game's going to come down to our offense versus their defense. That's going to be the key. Because our offensive line has improved every week, and if you go from Georgia State to Tulane with 2 SEC games in between, they have really improved. I mean, our running numbers speak.
Yeah.
We're not taking many sacks. We are, taking care of the ball. We haven't thrown a pick. We've had one turnover. Logan Diggs did one fumble on Saturday, not causing any penalties. We're doing very well. So, of course, I'm going to say we win the game. Is it going to be tight? Well, I might have a mild stroke while I'm in Oxford. I mean, there's a chance. But I believe we will win about like a 35-28. Like, it's going to be close. I mean, like, first going into halftime is going to be 17-17. It's going to be a
Right.
tight game. Nut to butt, ready to go. And then whoever makes the least amount of mistakes, like any other game, that's who's gonna win that ball game.
Didn't Chambliss start against Arkansas?
Correct.
So he's played 2 games now,
2
Arkansas
games.
and Tulane,
Yes.
both in
And
Oxford.
his first action was in Lexington.
Okay.
He came in like the third quarter, in the third, beginning of the fourth, something like that.
My point is he ready for the crowd that's going to be there on Saturday? Because you know as well as I do, LSU fans travel like crazy. It's going to be busting at the seams in that stadium. To me, going from D2 to Ole Miss versus LSU, is it a night game?
A 2:30 kickoff.
2:30?
Lane's not happy about that either.
That's a big difference. Even Arkansas coming to Oxford, this is different.
Did you not hear that stat about the Arkansas game?
Mm-mm.
So when he played that game, we had about 70,000 in the seats.
Yeah,
Around that, give or take. You know how many fans he played for total in the whole season last year?
probably like 50.
60.
That doesn't surprise me.
So what he did in 1 year, he did in one game for us, and he handled it against Arkansas. Now,
Against
Arkansas and
Arkansas,
LSU,
that ain't
but
LSU's defense.
that's where I'm getting there. Arkansas and LSU are one's here. It's not.
I disagree with one thing you said, and I get it from a injury perspective and all. You don't want to waste Simmons or get him hurt for the year on this one game. But which one gives you the better chance to win the game?
On this game, on LSU solely, are you talking about rest? Like gives us the best chance for the rest of the year?
LSU.
Then Chambliss. Chambliss gives us the best overall.
You think Chambliss gives you a better chance to win than Simmons?
This single game, I'm not talking in 2 weeks against Washington State, Georgia, Oklahoma. After that, no. You talking about this one single game?
But see, this is LSU coming to Oxford. If you think he gives you the best chance to win against LSU, then why is he not the starting quarterback? Is my point.
Because Simmons is Kiffin's guy. That's his dude. He's been
But
there.
I'd argue that Simmons has kind of underperformed up to this point in the season.
I mean,
based on stuff I'm hearing from Ole Miss fans.
He's played less than 2 games this year. In all reality, he started Georgia State. Was slow first quarter, but looked good 3 out of 1, 3 quarters out of 4 against Georgia State. And then Kentucky started slow against Kentucky, played good for the rest of the game. Then he got hurt.
So you start slow against LSU, it's over.
Right. And I agree with your statement. I mean, I'm following what you're saying. But Simmons is the guy. He has been there. Let's see, he's going on his 3rd year there. second or third. And he's been in Lane Kiffin's offense, and I think he would stay. He would still be the starter after this. But now that you see what Chambliss can do, oh man, it would even when Simmons is 100%. I guarantee that Kiffin is going to be coming up with packages, and you're just going to be those two going to be doing this right here, flip
It's the same
flopping.
with us with Kamario Taylor. He's going to be the guy next year, but we're already bringing him in packages, short yardage especially. He's a big guy. Short yardage, you're not stopping him on 3rd and 3, 3rd and 4. You're not going to stop him. So that's what somebody said. Nowadays, red shirts don't matter. So just play them, do what you got to do, win the game now.
Well, the difference between then and now is back then, red shirt's going to play at all. Now, red shirt can play 4 games.
Let him play 4 games. I mean, I fully expect Kamario Taylor to burn that red shirt. We're fixing to go into what, 8 straight SEC games. He's not going to be on the sideline
For 8
every
straight weeks.
game. Right. He's too good for that. He's going to come in certain packages, especially short yardage, and I think that gives us the best chance to win. I think, as crazy as y'all games typically are with LSU, I could see it being something like 35-32.
Yeah, I mean,
like just something crazy. And I don't mean like I'm talking last minute walk-off field goal wins the game. And I said it before the season started. With the expectations Brian Kelly has, I just don't see them losing. I think it'll be close, but I think they escape with the win. Now, I'm sticking to that prediction. However, Florida is god awful. And I fully expected that to be a monumental blowout in Baton Rouge Saturday night. I think the final score was 20-10?
20-10, and Lagway threw 5 picks.
That's with Lagway throwing 5 picks for Florida, and you only beat them 20-10. That's, I just, I don't know. I didn't feel good about that. That was 2 weeks ago, I guess, but I didn't feel good about that at all. So that makes me question LSU's offense pretty heavily. Their defense is what you said. I mean, it's elite.
Very elite.
For me, it's going to come down to quarterback play. If Chambliss plays, or if Simmons plays, how they hold up against Nussmeier, that's going to be the tell. Whichever quarterback plays better wins the game. I fully believe that. So,
Vegas has got it a 1.5 spread right now.
See, that's one I wouldn't touch.
I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole.
I wouldn't
Over
touch
and under
it
55.5. Stay away.
I'm not touching that one at all. So that's too close and too crazy. Just like I never bet the Egg Bowl ever, because it's too many crazy things that go on that can turn it on a dime. So I will not be touching that game. But good luck.
We're all counting on you.
I can't say I hope you guys win, because I don't think you will. But I will look forward to recapping that game, because I do expect it to be a wild one.
If I'm a little hoarse, you'll know why.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Well,
going into y'all's week, who do y'all start SEC play with?
We're starting SEC play with Tennessee coming into Starkville.
Ooh.
And, this
time.
has been – every game is the most important game until the next game, right?
Yeah,
So we are playing at 3:15. Tennessee comes to town. Joey Aguilar, quarterback for Tennessee in his first year there. Do you know where Joey Aguilar played football last year?
UCLA.
No. App State. Appalachian State.
You are incorrect, sir. He was at UCLA. He went from App State to UCLA, then UCLA to Tennessee.
Okay. Well, he's from App State. All right.
No, but he transferred to UCLA.
I forgot him and Nico switched places.
They did a swap. I know the brain cells at Starkville's not around, and that area is not that high.
Tennessee's fixing to bring Nico back. So let's see what happens there.
We can do a whole episode about that. Let's stay
You
on
didn't
topic.
hear? Georgia wants him back. Georgia wants him. Georgia wants him. South Carolina wants him. Anyway, Joey Aguilar coming in. Joey Aguilar is not used to playing in front of the crowd that he's going to play in front of Saturday. Now, when Arizona State came to Starkville, we heard all the talk all week about the Cowbells. You had Sam Levitt, Heisman hopeful, giving interviews all week about, it's just like high school football. Yeah, okay, buddy. Let's see how that works out for you. And it was pretty evident from the start that he was not going to make it. The crowd was in his head. The noise. They had multiple false start penalties. He couldn't get the play off. It was clear the crowd affected him big time. Will we see the same thing against Joey Aguilar Saturday in Starkville? He's not used to the Cowbells. He's not used to that many people. It's a sellout. It's State's.
He has played Georgia already this year. Give him that.
State's first sellout since 2018.
So what?
This Saturday,
25 tickets.
It'll be north of 60, and we haven't seen the stadium that full in quite a long time. Even the Arizona State game wanted to sell out. So it's going to be an incredible atmosphere. I'm very excited to see the atmosphere. We didn't know what Tennessee was going to be at the start of the season.
We both agree on that.
They pretty much had a brand new offensive line unit, new quarterback. We didn't know what he was going to look like. I have got to give them credit. They are much better than I thought they would be at this point in the season.
Oh, they should be undefeated right now.
Aguilar is a massive improvement for them over Nico.
Agreed.
Massive improvement. So defensively, obviously you see what they just did to Georgia. That game was incredible. Tennessee should have won that game.
Very much so.
They didn't. And I think that was their 9th loss in a row to Georgia, 8th or 9th loss in a row. That's just absurd to me. But to me, it's all about the crowd. You know, State has had 2 kind of laid back, easy opponents the last 2 weeks. You blew out Alcorn. Your starters got to rest for more than a half. Northern Illinois was a little tougher. The starters played just about the whole game. But if you want to get some non-conference opponents and lesser thans, after the Arizona State game and the emotions of that and right before the Tennessee game, that's when you want it. That's perfect timing in the way our schedule sets up. Now, the flip side of that is we go into the gauntlet that is SEC play because there are no breaks after this other than the 2 bye weeks, but every opponent is going to have to get our undivided attention. And Heupel, Levy, they're very similar coaches. Both love offense. I mean, I don't know. I could see it. I could see it being a close game. I could see it going back and forth a little bit. State's defense is much better this year than I anticipated.
I've seen reports that somebody projected y'all to win that game. Just because of the atmosphere and the home crowd.
That, I will tell you, that is what won the game against Arizona State, was the atmosphere. The defense was elite against Arizona State. Can they do it again? Can they do it again from start to finish? I've heard loud crowds in Starkville before, but the crowd against Arizona State wasn't just that it was packed. It wasn't just that it was loud. It was one of those games where there's cowbells ringing and people yelling, and it was loud from 10 minutes before the game to an hour after the game, and it did not let up at all. That doesn't happen very often. So the crowd definitely won that game. Can they do it again this weekend with the same level of energy?
They will have to.
Even more so. It's the only chance we got, in my opinion. Now, I hoped we could win the Arizona State game, and we obviously did much better than I anticipated. We let them come back, but I think that was a nature of being up 17-3 at halftime. This game, I don't know, man. This game's tough for me
Have you seen the
because
line?
no, Tennessee's favored. I'm sure.
They are, but it's not
What,
as bad as you
6,
think. 7.5
6?
points.
Tennessee's favored by 7.5.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they cover that.
So y'all
I don't think they cover
lose,
that.
but it's under 8 points.
Here's the thing. We beat Arizona State. That was a great surprise for me. Okay. And I want State to win every game. Love them to death. Arizona State shocked me. I did not expect the defense to look even remotely as good as they looked in that game. This is SEC play. We were not very competitive in any SEC game last year at all.
Nope.
Start to finish, we got blown out in just about every game. I left a game early last year for the first time ever because it was like 95 degrees, and I think it was either Texas A&M or Missouri was up by 3 touchdowns
Ugh.
2 minutes into the third quarter. And I just looked at my wife and I said, "We're going to go home and finish this on the recliner. Like I'm not sitting here sweating another minute." And we left. That's how bad it got. Until I see them do it, I don't think I can put my stamp on it and say, "Yeah, we're going to win this game." Now, our result in the Arizona State game, the fact that Joey Aguilar hasn't seen a crowd like this, I could see it being a 3 to 5 point game. I am firm. I don't think Tennessee covers that spread. I really don't. And if State were to lose within that line, I think you have to be pretty happy with that.
As your first loss, I would be happy with that. Jeff Levy should be
First
happy with that.
loss, but again, what does it look like? Is it competitive or is it another embarrassment? That's going to be the tell for me and kind of projecting the rest of the season because you're talking about road trips to A&M, Florida, who they're bad, but last year they were bad and they turned it around toward the end of the year. You don't know. So Missouri,
You got old Texas coming into town at some
exactly.
point.
And look, here's the thing about the SEC this year too. That's why this game is so hard for me to pick.
There's a lot of refs.
I think, to me, Tennessee is one of the best teams in the SEC this year, by far. I don't think it's close. But the gap between them and Georgia and Texas is like non-existent to me. You don't have just this dominant team like you do in years past. Texas is not dominant. They're not unbeatable.
Arch hasn't
Georgia
played out like we thought he was going to.
How's he going to do coming to Starkville for the first time with the Cowbells? I mean, there are teams, every team in the SEC this year is beatable. There's 2 teams right now that stand out to me, and this is going to blow your mind, but it's true. The way they look when they play, Tennessee and Vanderbilt, to me, are 2 elite teams in the SEC. Everybody else can be beaten easily. So I think it's going to be interesting. I'm going to be there. I will definitely be hoping for an Arizona State-like result. But I hope I'm on here next week talking about, man, I didn't see it coming and we won. That was crazy, especially if we're able to put a touchdown or 2 difference on them. But I
You
will
might be a little hoarse.
shocked. I will be shocked if that's the case. But I would sure love it. I know that. But I'm thinking something. I'm thinking something along the line of, what did you say the total line is?
The line is 63.5.
That's about right for what I'm thinking. I'm thinking in the range of 38, 35, 38, 32, right in there. I think it'll be close. I think the offenses will put up points the way Heupel and Levy coach. I think Shapen will have a good game. He's got to get rid of the football, can't take sacks. I think rushing is going to be good. State's going to be able to run the ball. I see it being a high-score game, whether it's back and forth or not, or whether we get some points at the end or they get some points at the end. I don't know, but I think it'll be a high-scoring, Very
Man,
offensive game.
Tennessee's defense is better than what you think. So I'll go like 35-17 Tennessee.
That's a little more than what I would be happy with. I'll put it that way. That would feel a lot like shades of last year's SEC season to me because this game should be winnable. You shouldn't get blown out in this game by any stretch of the imagination. That should not happen. If you're having the team in the year that you should have, that should not happen. So if it
We'll
does,
see.
then we're back to square one, in my opinion. So
We wouldn't say square one, but you got knocked out.
it's a new season. 4-0 is great. This is SEC. If you can't beat SEC teams, you're not going to do anything. So
Never.
I want to see how we look against a top tier SEC team, which is what Tennessee is. Before I
Definitely.
can say, are we going to make a bowl game? Are we going to find those 2 wins? Or are we going to go 0-8 in the SEC? So like we did last year.
Mm-hmm.
But it should be
Well,
a good weekend. I'm looking forward to it. Let's go around the horn.
let's get
What's
some
some of
pick'ems
the
in. Let's get
what's some of the
some.
big games we got to look forward to?
In SEC play, we got some big games. We got some not so big games. So I'm gonna
Okay.
start off with this. This one's one of my kind of favorites. And I've been dogging Arkansas, but I'm ready to see Arkansas versus Notre Dame. Notre Dame is 1-2. Arkansas is 2-2, just coming off of a close loss to
Doesn't matter.
Memphis.
It doesn't matter how close it was. It was Memphis.
It was Memphis. I mean, they should never have lost to Memphis, but that's hearsay. So, and Notre Dame is coming down to Fayetteville. Fayetteville's hard to play at. The line is 4.5 points total. Over and under 64.5.
Who's favored? Notre Dame. I'm
Notre
assuming.
Dame.
Yeah.
So we'll say 5 points. Man, if Sam Pittman wants to even considerably save his job, this is the win he needs. He needs this win. If he wants to even consider it. If he doesn't win this game, his name is next to get fired.
Are you picking Arkansas to win this game?
Man, you know what I mean. I like the underdog, man.
Oh my goodness.
That bacon gonna fry up the Catholics, bro.
I disagree with you there. I'm easily
We disagree on a lot of things, buddy.
no hesitation whatsoever. I'm taking Notre Dame and the points. I think Arkansas is on their way down. I think Pittman's on his way out. And I'm ready to hear that Harley rev up in the tunnel and see old Bobby Petrino coaching them the rest of the season.
Oh, God, dog.
So
John Gruden?
I easily take Notre Dame and the points on that one. I just do not see Arkansas doing it.
All right. The next one. This one is not much of it's a game, but it's not a game. 11:45, the game before y'all's on the SEC Network. Vandy versus Utah State. Vandy's favorite 22.5. The over and under is, we'll call it 60.
Wait, Vandy's favored by 22.5 against Utah State?
Vandy by 30, baby. Vandy by 30.
What has happened that Utah State is that much of an underdog? They used to be good.
I mean, they're 3-1.
That's insane. Vanderbilt, easy, no question.
No question. SEC Nation is going to be in College Station.
This is a big one.
Auburn versus Texas A&M. 6.5 point spread. 52.5 points. Over and under.
I think I'm going to surprise you.
Okay.
Who are you going with?
I'm going with Hugh Freeze.
Auburn, huh?
I want to take old Hugh. I don't like the Aggies. I don't like anything in that god awful maroon. And I don't like their male cheerleader, dude.
Well, we agree on that. I can't stand that. But
Dude.
here's the thing. I'm taking Texas A&M.
Oh, God.
And not because it's a home
would.
game. Not because it's a home game. not because they're ranked number 9 in the country. I'm taking Texas A&M because of who Auburn's quarterback is,
Oh,
Jackson
yeah?
Arnold.
Well, Jackson Arnold been balling out, dudes. Because they should have beat
You
Oklahoma last week.
shoulda, woulda, coulda. They didn't.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda.
And
referees.
you get run out of your home. You get run out of your home, and you got to go to another school. And you're going back to play in front of those same fans at that same place. And you can't pull it off. What more motivation do you need? I mean, that's why I'm picking A&M. I don't think Arnold can get it done. If he couldn't get it done at Oklahoma with all the background and the storylines, I don't trust him to get it done at Kyle Field with 100,000 strong. I've been there. It's the only SEC away game I've ever been to. And
I've been in the outskirts of that place, and it is loud.
It is insane on the inside. I mean, it's nuts. I went there in 2014 when they had Christian Kirk, and I think they beat State by a touchdown or two. But it was a good competitive game. But I will never forget how loud that place was. I mean, it was unreal, and I don't think Arnold can keep his head about him and get it done. So I'm going to take A&M. What do you say the spread is? 6?
6.5, 7 points. I mean, for only be 7 points, a top 10 team at home, and it's only 7-point spread.
I'll take A&M, but I don't think they cover. I don't think they cover. But
so it's going to be a 3-point game, 3-4-point game. It's going to be
similar
close to what Oklahoma. You're saying.
Well, with the refs admitting what happened in the Oklahoma game, I mean, essentially it's a tie ball game.
Essentially.
So, I mean, that's tough to do on the road. It's hard to win on the road in the SEC no matter who you are. So, I got A&M on that one, though. Who's next?
Right. The next one is the elite of the elite. Alabama goes into Athens. A good game. Georgia spread. Georgia's favorite, 3.5 points. The total over and under is 52.5. Give me
man.
I say I want to take the Tide, but give me Gunnar Stockton. Give me Gunnar Stockton in Georgia because I picked them beginning of the year. If you remember, right?
Alabama is so far removed from Saban and what Alabama is supposed to be under DeBoer. I would take Georgia here, and I really don't think it's going to be close. I really don't.
I think Alabama taking that early loss to Florida State, first game of the year, was the swift kick in the ass that they needed.
It could be. It certainly could be.
But I think Georgia's was going to put a second loss on them. I do.
But here's the thing. They had a big out-of-conference game in Tuscaloosa versus Wisconsin.
Okay? And beat the brakes off of them.
And Alabama beat the dog out of them. And I think a lot of people saw that and go, oh, okay, well, there's Alabama. That's what's supposed to happen. Wisconsin is so
Georgia.
bad. Wisconsin is such a bad football team. They got booed off their own field at halftime because they were doing so poorly the week after they lost to Alabama. They are a bad football team. They're not playing the same level this weekend. On the road at Georgia,
between the hedges,
I think I would take Georgia. If they were in Tuscaloosa, I'd still take Georgia. So I could see it in Athens. Kirby and them barely won the Tennessee game. I could see them just absolutely blowing the doors off of Alabama.
So you say like a 21-point victory or like a 10 or?
I'm talking something around.
Well, you think you got that serious look.
I feel something around 45-24, Georgia. 45-24 Georgia, and then Alabama's back to square one like they were after the Florida State game, where they just kind of get they're out tough They're out physicaled the entire game, and everybody's left wondering, what is this program under this guy? He's got about 1 or 2 more losses like that he can endure before they pull the plug on that. Because Alabama fans, I tried to tell them, they are not living in reality for the last 20 years, and they're going to keep chasing Nick Saban.
And I'll
And I
never
think they're
catch
going
him.
to. I think they're going to run through coaches like crazy because they're not going to come close to that ever again. So now
All right.
somebody brought up a good point. It's a good point of discussion for a minute. They said the same thing about Alabama before Nick Saban. From
Fair
Bear
enough.
Bryant, they spent how many years chasing Bear Bryant, and everybody said, well, that's never going to happen again. And then they got Nick Saban. Now, I'm not
Mhm.
saying there's a Nick Saban walking through the door because I don't think there is, but
Never will be.
I think there are certainly better out there than what they have. And I think DeBoer moved up too quickly, in my opinion, from Washington. It's hard to go from that to the SEC and be successful.
I
So
agree.
I
But
don't know. I got Georgia on that one very easily, and I will be excited to recap this weekend because I think it's going to be a big, exciting weekend.
definitely. All right, we got one more good game in the SEC, and then one it's going to be Missouri versus UMass. Missouri by 43.5.
Who
Missouri,
cares?
who cares? That one, Missouri
Who
going to blow
cares?
UMass out of the water. All right.
Who cares?
So the last good game, and this is the nightcap on the SEC
Okay.
Network. And this one, I'm ready to hear what you're going to say. Kentucky versus South Carolina.
Where's it at?
It's at South Carolina. It's in Columbia.
Is Lenora Sellers playing?
I don't know.
Well, that would be the pertinent information there because I don't know if I can make a pick.
He didn't get. I don't think. Did he get hurt last week against Mizzou?
I don't. I think he came in,
He
but I
played.
don't think he played the whole time.
Um.
I think no, he did play. He had some good passes. He had just a absolute dot for a touchdown that was just glorious.
Yeah, because he's the only quarterback that played. He threw 18 for 28, 302 yards, 2 touchdowns.
Right.
18 for 28. I mean, not awful, but not great. Now they did get to his ass though. He had 10 carries for negative 28 yards against Mizzou.
That's nasty.
And that is horrible.
You know what? I'll
South
go quick on
Carolina.
this one. I'll go quick on this one because I have ridden the South Carolina train all year, mainly because of Sellers.
Mm-hmm.
He is not. He is. I know you said he's overrated, but whether he's unhealthy,
He's not.
whatever's going on right now, he's not the same quarterback he was last year, and that spells trouble for me.
Kentucky wins.
A night game
In
at
Columbia,
South Carolina
that
in
place
Columbia.
gets to rocking at night.
That's one of those the atmosphere may carry him. And if he's playing, you know what? I'm going to do it. This is the week Sellers gets back to being Lenore Sellers and reminds everybody why he's who he is. Give
Okay.
me the Gamecocks over the Wildcats. 10 points.
All right.
10 points. It's at night. It's in Columbia. Tough place to win.
Man,
Kentucky's not good this year.
they're
Kentucky's
not.
not good this year. So I think Sellers has a good game and kind of gets back to, I think it's his get right game.
I'm not. I can agree with all of that. I'm down for that. I'll go. I'll skim the tracks this week for you. You know, I'll
Good.
ride
You
the
need
track.
to because Sellers is still coming to Oxford, baby.
We're not talking about that right now. Let's focus on. We'll focus week 5 at a time, 1 week at a time. But for this week, I will jump on the train and watch the Gamecocks take away some cats.
Well, it should be a good weekend of football. Like I said, I'm excited to see it. Got one more topic to talk about here. Yesterday, the SEC put out their annual opponents for each team.
They did.
Now, these opponents are going to be reevaluated every 4 years,
Mm-hmm.
which why are you going? I don't understand calling them permanent if they're not permanent. Every 4 years is not permanent to me, but I'm glad it'll rotate at some point. So,
Well, some of them will rotate.
right. So let's
It's up
just
to the
go
hip,
through
buddy.
state. Let's just go to state and Alabama and Ole Miss, and then we can cover the rest of the SEC at a later date. But state's permanent opponents, I really feel like Mississippi State came out much better here than I expected them to. Usually we kind of get shafted by the SEC, but I thought we came out on the up and up here. We've got Alabama, we've got Vanderbilt, and of course, the school up the road, Ole Miss. So
Yeah,
got to
well,
keep looking at that ugly red and blue.
man,
But
we
the
stuck to
thing
the
is,
hip.
you're not going to take away the Egg Bowl. You can't
No,
take that rivalry game away.
hell no.
So I think State came out much better. Alabama's not the Bama they used to be. If they were going to do this, thank God it's after Nick Saban.
If y'all would have got Nick
Vanderbilt,
Saban, just binge over. Where?
I don't. 17 years of it, I watched every second. Vanderbilt, I'm curious to see what Vanderbilt's going to be after Diego Pavia. Right now, I think he's their entire program. I think he's the leader. What do they have behind him coming? I don't think they will be as good without him once he leaves this year. So, and then Ole Miss, again, State and Ole Miss, that game goes so many crazy directions. Typically,
To
the
Miss's
team that
favor.
looks like they're going to win, the team that looks like they're going to win the Egg Bowl typically doesn't, or either they barely do. So, case in point, last year, one of the worst teams we've had in school history on the road. And you got y'all's offense. Our defense was god awful. Y'all's offense was the talk of the team, and you beat us by 12. Just crazy stuff seems to happen when we play. So
You
I
throw all the
think,
record and the rule book out. It's on.
I think, I think State, for all intents and purposes, these could be 3 toss-ups every year.
Y'all got to look at the draw. We of course, we're stuck with you guys again. But see, y'all ain't married to the hip nuts. We're married to. We got y'all on one side and we got LSU on the other.
Mm.
So we stuck with both y'all. They don't. We only get one annual one team swapping, and the third team we drew was Oklahoma. I don't know how we got Oklahoma. I would prefer it like Arkansas because that's always a good game between those two programs.
Right. Kentucky, another good game with y'all.
I'd take it. Ole Miss and Vandy game. Ole Miss and Vandy. That's been a staple game for us for years.
That's always been a good game. One that y'all lose when you're not supposed to.
Preach. But we got them next year. We get them next year. We do play Vandy next year. And I might make a trip to Nashville. Who knows?
Well, I saw Kiffin's quote about y'all getting Oklahoma today. And he said, he basically said what everyone I feel like was thinking. Our fans and their fans have nothing in common. We don't know anything about them. They don't know anything about us. 2 different cultures. I don't know why they gave us Oklahoma. And that's a fair sentiment to have.
Mm-hmm.
It really doesn't make sense when you've got, hell, we got Alabama. How do y'all get away from Auburn? Auburn and Mississippi State play some incredible games. And I'm thankful that we're not playing them this year. I'm glad they're not on our opponents either. But there's some good rivalry games that are entertaining year in and year out that are
Florida and
going to be
LSU.
done.
That's not what
They're going to be done away with.
Mm-hmm.
So
But you'll get
it
them.
was
You just won't get them
surprising
every
to me.
year.
Well, it was surprising to me. It could have been, my God, State, you could have told me State got LSU, Alabama, and Georgia. as our permanent opponents, and I would have said, yeah, that's about what I expected. So I think they came out very good on this. I was really surprised, and I'm excited to see it in the future and how the rotations work. So that was the big news of the week from the SEC overall. But we recapped last weekend, 2 good games for State and Ole Miss. Huge, monumental weekend for both programs this upcoming week. You guys get LSU, we get Tennessee, both in the state of Mississippi. Big weekend in the state of Mississippi overall as well. So I look forward to recapping and previewing the next week. So we will be back with y'all Monday, Tuesday.
Sounds good. Appreciate y'all listening.